Okay, well, g'day. This is Ross Thatcher here again on the YouTube video channel called Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. I have been thinking of changing the name altogether just to, you know, be on a level playing field, which is what Earth basically is. It's a level playing field. I don't know, maybe it's a good idea just to call it Flat Earth Aussie. Just leave it at that, you know, or Flat Earth Roscoe. That would work, you know. Anyway, I'm back again. I've deleted a few files. I've got a little bit of room to play with, and I'm just going to talk about stuff that's been going down lately. And obviously we know there's been all sorts of viral hoaxes going down. If you believe according to your beliefs, so it will be. So keep that in mind when you start believing in pandemonium, as it may be. Now I know not that long ago I posted a video and saying I'm going to be presenting the model of the flat earth, and it's still in the making. Trust me, it's or don't trust me. That would be better. I just know that the knowledge of the flat earth model is in here. Presenting it in a way that you can both mentally and visually perceive it to be is a very difficult and challenging thing to do. Far greater than I could have even imagined in the first place. So it's going to take a little bit longer than I first intended, simply because back when I first intended, the weather was as such where I was getting bugger all work, and I had the feeling that, okay, well, if I'm going to be spending 5 days a week at home doing nothing, this will be a piece of piss. I'll sit down, I'll make these mousy diagrams and shit, and try and edit together a video, if you will, to present a reasonable explanation for the model of the realm upon which we live. You'd think it wouldn't be that bloody difficult. Why it would come to somebody like me to have to present this stuff? And the thing is, it hasn't. The information is out there. I've seen it 100 times on 100 or 1,000 different videos. The trouble is, there's no concise one. You've got a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit all over the place, and there's always something just that little bit wrong with one little bit. But that's where I come in, because I guess, you know, I'm the center of the universe, in a sense, because I have innocence. Yeah, pathetic. Anyway, my inner senses tell me that I'm able to take a piece from there and a piece from there and a piece from all over the place and put the pieces together and make a picture, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, where nothing makes sense in its own right. You look at a piece of jigsaw puzzle, it's meaningless. You look at 10 pieces of jigsaw puzzle, they're all meaningless on their own. And so every single one of them that somebody tries to present to you as a piece of the puzzle, you're just going to automatically reject and say, that's stupid, you dumb, flat earth, moron, idiot, whatever. But here in the center of the universe is somebody who grabs the pieces and puts them together and makes a bigger picture. And once you see the bigger picture, it will all make sense. It's very straightforward, logical. In fact, you'll start to wonder how you didn't know it yourself in the first place once you know it, once it's been shown to you. That's the thing, you know. When I was a kid, for example, we had this man on the moon who's an upside down hanging puppet, Mr. Squiggle. It's funny when you look back at an upside down hanging puppet called Mr. Squiggle down here in Australia. Anyway, this man from the moon, Mr. Squiggle, he'd start drawing with his pencil nose. Don't ask me, I didn't make it up, I just used to watch it as a kid. He'd start drawing this bloody picture and he'd be looking at it, and then next thing you know, he'd flip it upside, right way up, and all of a sudden, you could see an image that made a lot of sense. In fact, there's a lot of famous street artists who can't be that famous, by the way, because I can't even think of a single one of their names, but you can see occasionally some really cool street artists who do splish splash with their paintbrushes, blah blah blah, and you go, yeah, whatever, and then next thing they turn upside down and whoa, there's Rolf Harris or something. You know what I mean? So nothing is as it seems. So tonight I went out for a walk. It's been the first time in a while, to be honest, because the weather has been pretty crappy. Like rain at any time. It's, you know, it's okay, but if you're out there walking and you got, your clothes on and you got your phone in your pocket and you got your dog on your lead and all the rest, you don't really want to get saturated soaking wet. If you're going to go out to get saturated soaking wet, at the very least you leave your phone at home. So I haven't been really out for a good long night walk for some time, 2 to 3 weeks at least now. Already the skin on the bottom of my feet softening up. So at least while it's still slightly warm now, I can go out and toughen them up, get them ready for winter, because I love barefoot walking in winter. That's where you got to totally rug up every last bit, but you leave your feet bare and you just feel every little stone on the road. It's like, that's how you know you're alive. The stars came out eventually, but this is the weird thing. Today was a crystal clear blue sky day. Absolutely one of the best we've had in weeks. Yesterday was pretty good as well. Day before was very nice, but both of those days we had an amount of normal clouds coming across occasionally. Today we didn't. Today was a crystal clear blue sky day, and because I was out on the road, I got called out for work Saturday. Very rarely happens. Got called out on a Saturday. Got woken up actually out of bed. Want to go to work? No, but Saturday rates. I mean, normal weekday rates are almost $30 an hour. Saturday rate, time and a half, plus overtime. Ended up doing a 12-hour day. Thank you very much. So while I'm out there getting baked, I don't know if you can probably see it in my face, it's sunburnt. I got baked. That's the price you pay. Good money. Need a job, need to pay my bills. So I'm out there. But while I'm out there, I've got plenty of time to just look around. Talk to the birds, whistle back to them, have a bit of a moo at some of the cows, all that sort of stuff. Just the usual everyday sort of thing I do. And anyway, not a cloud in the sky, but come about mid-afternoon today. Ooh, what is this? It's an aeroplane oh, it's not spraying chemtrails at all, it's just a contrail. Except this person here knows what a genuine contrail looks like. And although this one looked somewhat like what you would consider a normal chemtrail, I beg your pardon, condensation trail, because it was disappearing at a certain distance behind the plane. The difference was with this, why it's not a normal condensation trail, is because the condensation trail from the plane was coming directly from the engines, not coming this small distance away from it, where that overheated air and water molecules freeze at a certain distance away from the plane. A normal contrail will see the plane, say, I just use my fingers, doesn't matter, just the plane is here, the condensation trail will start here and go to about there, and it will follow like a comet tail all the way, dissipating at the same rate as it's created, but there will be a gap between the plane and the condensation trail. And because this particular one I saw today, I say we because I've got several personalities. So what we saw today was the con trail was coming directly out of the engines, and that's not how it works. And it was going a little bit too long for a normal condensation trail as well before it was dissipating. So, I can tell at a glance the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. And they've been trying over the last couple of years to disguise chemtrails as best as they can. Most of them are even sprayed where you don't even see anything. They've gotten wise enough to that. And I can tell you for a fact that with the blue sky today, like even 2 days ago on the Thursday, the guy I was working with, he said he was so impressed. He has not seen a blue sky as blue as that in so long that he pulled out his camera and took a picture of it. That is the truth. Even ordinary everyday people who don't even understand what's going on with the chemtrail spraying and all the rest of the shit, even they can tell the difference between a normal wishy-washy chemtrail laden sky without even any chemtrails or any clouds or whatever. It's just this pale blue hazy shit. But because we've had some good rain, good clear days, good clear skies for so long, he was impressed at just how blue it was, as was I. You don't get to see that very often these days. Today, by the end of the day, it wasn't like that at all. It was already starting to get that hazy effect again. But I thought, well, it's been a while since I've taken my dog out for a walk. Tonight I'm going to put me good glasses on. See, these ones are not me good glasses. I left me good glasses in another case. These are good. Oh, crystal clear screen now, 14:15. I can see that clear as day, whereas now it's like a bit hazy. My other glasses are super good. They're too good. I can't wear them normal everyday experiences, but when I go out looking at the stars, holy crap, they are brilliant. It's like looking through a telescope almost. It's just, everything is crystal clear. And the first thing I noticed though, even before the sun had set, but before any of the stars had come out, is that there's this bloody bullshit hazy looking stuff impersonating clouds filling the sky. So I took my phone out and I took some pictures, and I found a setting where I could put on a night setting, and then it said I had to hold it still, so I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. I ended up having to let the bloody dog go because he's such an annoying little piece of... He's a lovely little fella. I love him. Anyway, so I'm trying to take pictures of the clouds and then eventually later of the stars, and let's just say that this dog is not the best companion dog to have for somebody who wants to take very, very still and accurate pictures of the stars or clouds or whatever. I don't know where I'm going to upload all those pictures. I'll probably put them on Facebook or something, I guess. Better good a place as anywhere. Maybe I'll drop a link down below when I get around to doing it. But the fact is, for a crystal clear blue sky day, at the end of the day, as I'm walking out towards dusk, is these aren't real clouds. I could see multiple examples of this dirty, grey, brown crap. Exactly like what I saw in the very first days over 20 years ago when I first started noticing chemtrails. On a clear day, when you'd see them spraying, you could actually see the chemtrails most of the time, and you'd see them turn into this dirty, ugly, grey crap that just hung. It's really low hanging. It's almost like a fog. And by the time I started walking back up the hill, it literally looked like a fog. So I took pictures of that as well. They won't come out, of course, because, you know, smartphones aren't designed to take pictures of things we're not supposed to see. But my eyes saw them. My eyes saw every last thing that was going on. The phenomenon of weird shit. So this does come back, of course, to this Cornholio virus that, if I say that out loud, it seems to upset my camera and makes it stop, so I won't say that this time. Even though the corona is like the halo of the sun, and, you know, we all know heliocentrism, it's all connected, to do with denying the reality of being on a flat earth. So this Cornholio sort of shit, how best could you spread it if, for example, you're putting the nation on lockdown for 2 weeks and saying everybody's confined to their homes, which is apparently going to be happening in 2 days from here, today being tonight, 9:27 p.m. on the Saturday evening of the 21st of the 3rd. If they saturate the air at dusk with the stuff they've been spraying in the afternoon to create a blanket of things, so everybody's thinking, well, it's a beautiful clear day. We know it's not, there's no weather predictions, you know, weather patterns predicted for the next few days. And so you'll go outside and breathe this stuff in without even knowing that it's there. And yet it came up looking like a very, very overcast evening. And yet I know when I wake up in the morning, I'll look outside and there'll be blue sky and there won't be a cloud around, and yet this stuff is super visible at dusk. And as it gets darker and darker, I'm definitely going to upload these pictures onto my Facebook. You know, if you haven't hit me up by now, well, don't necessarily hit me up. I'm getting like 10, 20 friend requests a day. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why. But on Facebook, I'm just getting ridiculous numbers, and most of them will say, oh, I've got 20, 30, 100, 200 mutual friends. I'm like, well, how can I not accept that? So I'm just getting inundated, and maybe that's not the best way to go about it with Facebook and stuff, but you could always hit the follow button and see the pictures I'm following, because once I hit 5,000, then what? I know, I'll make a post and say, subscribe to me on YouTube, or unfriend you. You have 24 hours, because I only need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I can start doing live, and I don't have to record this and delete shit and all that stuff. I can just go live. But anyway, it doesn't seem to be the way. Don't friend me on Facebook, subscribe to me on YouTube, and I only need 1,000 and 4,000 hours of watches or something. Easy peasy. So, where was I? Okay, yeah, out watching the night sky. So, I can see this blanket fog of shit coming in. Now, if you were going to be spreading a virus, the best way to do it would be to do it in a fog, especially a fog that people can't see. And you can't really see much at night time. But there's the odd one of us who sees in between night and day, and sees the fog being laid and thinks, how many times have I seen it over the years as a chemtrail observer on Anzac Day? Now, Anzac Day, I believe, is coming up soon. It's a traditional celebration of Australian, New Zealand Army Corps, people who went out and sacrificed their lives for the elite banking mob to take over the world and make us feel proud about doing it, because we lost our ancestors going off and killing foreign people who are only defending their own lands. Yeah, okay. But for some reason or another, we have to be respectful for these glorified murderers and victims of other murderers in the name of bankers' wars. So on the Anzac Day morning, they have a dawn service, and this is the latest thing that hit the news, of course, because of the Cornholio virus, is that they've cancelled the general public from being able to go out to these things. But the elderly, the frail, the ones who've served their purpose and they can't get rid of fast enough, are allowed to go out to them. And as I'm getting to the point of saying is that every year I've never seen such blatant chemtrail spraying overnight as what I've seen on the morning of the chemtrail of the Anzac dawn service. So these frail old people who are out there breathing in the fresh morning air have been heavily inundated with the most toxic air environment you could imagine. So this year they're just saying, just let these old people stay out, everybody else stay away. I don't know what's going on with that, but we can clearly see that the majority of the people dying from the Cornholio virus, the youngest being a 77-year-old, as you probably picked up on before I got cut off last time. At the top of my head, no, I don't have the statistics of the number of people in Australia who have actually got it, but considering now 7 of them have died, and the percentage of people who have said to have got the virus compared to the number who have died, the percentage who have died is 1.01%. So it's a pretty low death rate, which is a pretty high recovery rate. You could basically say 99% of the people who get it are recovering. And at the same time, too. I've still got 5 minutes-ish left. At the same time, over in Italy, where there's a saint called Saint Corona, the patron saint of epidemics, but I got corrected on that, so don't quote me on that. Maybe it's not. But anyway, over in Italy, where they've said they've had like 6,000 deaths, or whatever figure they pluck out of thin air, maybe 60. Oh, hang on. No, just 6 million. Whatever figure they pluck out of the thin air. Apparently 99% of these people who they've claimed who've got the Cornholio virus have already had a pre-existing condition which was pretty much considered fatal. And I don't know if you're a statistics person. If you're into statistics will blow your mind. Like the thousands and thousands and thousands of litres of sperm per second that are being shed upon the earth is just mind-blowing. Statistics can blow your mind. So when you look at it on the larger scale, most statistics are basically meaningless. It's we live in a very tiny bubble individually, each and every one of us. We live in a tiny, 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 minuscule, very, 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 even smaller than you can imagine. Like, if you imagine a pixel, if that pixel could be divided, and if that pixel was the entire universe and got divided into the size of a pixel, then the size that we personally live in would not even be as big as a pixel of that pixel. That's how big shit is, and how tiny we are. Doesn't mean we're insignificant. It just means that we're very small. We don't get to see much of what's going on out there. What we see is our tiny little bubble. So it's good to know that we know nothing. We know shit. We live in this tiny little bubble, and the stuff that filters through into our tiny little bubble is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything else is massive, huge, big, kind of larger than a pixel. So at the end of the day, could be it. So yeah. Oh wait, there was something else. There was something else. Oh yeah. Everything is within. You think you see me, but where are you seeing me? That little black hole in there goes all the way to the back of your brain. Everything is within. I'll talk to you soon.